In this video I'm going to solve PEZ to the glory of the Triune God and a few other gems, including Star Wars and YODA no less. PEZ is really easy, okay? It is adds to, well, let's do it right now. We're going to point out all the glories of it. PEZ adds perfectly to 47, which is exactly the 15th prime, which is 3 times 5, which is 3 times the third prime. Okay? So it glorifies the number 3. And that's accomplished in 3 letters. And how many strokes does it take to carve those letters? 9 strokes. 2 for the P, 1, 2, 4 for the E, 3 for the Z. So 9 strokes, 3 times 3, to carve 3 letters, 3, that adds to a total of 47, which is the 15th prime. That's the law of prime. When a number is prime, it's the order of the number in the series of primes, which is 15, which is king for the number 3. It's 3 times 5, which is in turn 3 times the third prime. So in every way, PEZ was foreordained to glorify the Triune God perfectly everywhere it is written. And seeing as we're looking at Star Wars PEZ, we should solve the word Star Wars. This is very easy. By the way, I find this is divine that I picked this up at Staples. Staples does the Superstar S effect just like the title Star Wars. And by the way, YODA divides by 3 perfectly, and that's why I grabbed this one. So I just want to finish this off by showing you a couple things on the board. First of all, we're going to solve Star Wars. This is very simple. We just solved Staples, the company. Remember, we solved Staples, the company, in the previous video. It does the Superstar S effect, front and back, and then there's a gold train of 3s to the glory of the Triune God in between. And this is divine because it is his story. So in Staples, all this gold in here adds to 54, which equals love. In Star Wars, this here all divides by 3. It's really beautiful because the R's are the 2 letters that divide by 3, and they're in parallel positions in star between wars. Okay, so this is 20. This is 39 here, which divides by 3 in 3 letters, and this is 24 plus 18 is 42. Wow, it's really glaring. I mean, it's really obvious because this is exactly, the W is exactly 3 points higher than the T, and so this is 39 in 3 letters, and this is 42 in 3 letters. Genius. And what's best of all is the third letter is the R, which is the one that divides by 3. Genius. I'm going to zoom in on this so you can see it even closer. There. Now, and you can get even better by counting the number of strokes in these triples here. This is 3 plus 6 plus, this is 8 strokes here, but that's going to get complemented by the W, which adds 4, so that's 12, 15, 18. So literally, in these 6 letters here, there are exactly 18 strokes to carve these 6 letters. So you've got 6 letters, 18 strokes to carve those 6 letters. That's an average of 3 strokes per letter, and both of the triplets divide by 3, different by 3 points exactly. Genius. Now you know who takes the glory for Star Wars. The Triune God. God the Father, Jesus Christ the Son, and the Holy Ghost. The kings of creativity. They created George Lucas. Okay? If someone created the person who in turn, so-called came up with Star Wars, who gets the credit for it? The person who created. That's the Triune God. God the Father, Jesus Christ the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And this is the mechanism that they have ordained to take the glory for everything in world history. Numbers. And every letter equals a number by their divine ordinance. So, isn't that awesome? We just solved Star Wars, one of the most expensive franchises in film history, and obviously merchandise history and all the other stuff. And then this is the exact phenomenon that we just solved in the company Staples. Okay, Superstar S effect, front and back, and there's a gold train of 3s in the middle here. What else do we want to do in the middle here? Yeah, we already solved this. This equals 54 equals love. So, and then of course, if you're really good, you'll notice that these 2 numbers add up perfectly to the famous 81, which is pure 3s. That's 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. It doesn't get any more obvious than this, folks. It really does not. So, is what we call the superstar S effect. Okay? By the way, there's a very famous funny word in Disney history known as supercalifragilisticexpialidocious that also amazingly, divinely does the superstar S effect. And I will leave you to discover what the perfect number is that gets the gold train of threes outside of the S. Actually, no, I'll tell it to you right now. It's 360, bang on the nose. Because God is sovereign. And supercalifragilisticexpialidocious was the word that literally catapulted Mary Poppins to the gold acclaim that God is sovereign. Mary Poppins divides by 3, Mary divides by 3, Poppins divides by 3. There's so many threes in the phrase Mary Poppins it'll make your head spin. All you have to understand is that God is sovereign. He is 3 people, and He is love, and He takes the glory for everything in world history down to the detail using numbers. God ordained Mary Poppins long before the foundation of the universe. And He ordained, yes, Star Wars long before the foundation of the universe, because He's the king of imagination, He's the king of creativity, but He insists on taking the glory for everything using numbers. That's how genius He is. So there we go. We saw Star Wars. By the way, George Lucas, he was called George every day. George is one of God's favorite names throughout world history to glorify Himself mathematically. 888 George equals 57, triple of the 8th prime. So there you go. Star Wars. Oh, and then I promised we were going to solve YODA, one of the most famous and beloved characters in Star Wars. He's super easy. He divides by 3 perfectly. I believe Luke Skywalker. You can start doing all of them. It really is a blast. It really is an absolute blast. But let's solve YODA here quickly. As YODA is very simple. Famous second letter divides by 3, and then you've got the word day outside of that, which adds 30 points. It's really obvious. Really obvious. O is 15. And then day adds another 30 points. YODA equals 45, which is king for the number 3. Triple of 15s, and you've got the 15s, embedded in there around the O. So there you go. In this video, we solved PEZ, we solved Star Wars, we solved YODA, to the glory of the Triune God, who takes the glory for everything in all of world history. Amen. Equals 33.